The suitcases are monoliths in the hallways gray, the only honest landmarks left at the ending of the day. Indifference is the currency, the only thing I hold, a sovereign kind of ownership that can't be bought or sold. On the radio, a scholar dissects the human design, parsing out the spirit while I'm staring at the line. But nature is a miser and the theory is a lie. We're just a collection of pulses under a stagnant sky. Everyone is leaking, everyone is torn, paying back the interest from the second they were born. Pain isn't a tragedy or a cinematic grace, it's just a lung expanding in a crowded, lightless space. All the world is bleeding, bending for the naught, filling up the hollows that the silence already bought. It's a vitiated cycle, a loop without a key, closing out the history of the you and the me. The space for the apology is a room without a floor. Looking for the handle on that heavy gauge door. To ask for your forgiveness is to blueprint out a change, but the architecture's frozen and the gears are out of range. Neither of us is willing to unstitch the way we're made, to pay the heavy ransom for the promises we strayed. We're just a pair of numbers in a statistical retreat, waiting for the winter to make the data point complete. No cinematic bang, no thunder in the hall, just the rhythmic sliding of the shadows down the wall. The ending was a period, a punctuation mark set by the slow motion gravity of the center of the dark. We traded in the always for the just enough to stay, liquidating every color into a uniform of gray. Vitiated, born with the fracture and the debt, a biological commitment we haven't mastered yet. I abandoned the harbor long before you saw the tide, building up the thickness of the star-stained steady hide. I held you to my marrow with a grip that left a bruise, not because of fever, but the things I feared to lose. An anticipatory squeeze, a suffocating prayer, trying to trap a shadow in the recirculated air. It could have been worse. The radio is humming, but it should have been better. The suitcases are coming, just a biological function, a rhythmical delay, washing out the salt stains at the ending of the day. Should have been better, could have been worse. The closing of the ledger, the silence of the hearse. The silver is flat, the reflection is dry. A man in the mirror with a lead-colored eye. I've unstitched the sorry from the seams of my coat. A heavy gauge silence caught in the throat. It's the clarity of the morgue, clinical white, bleaching the errors in the middle of the night. I deserted the harbor, I left you on the shore, knowing the floorboards couldn't take any more. My life is a vehicle built for the one, tracing the radius of a black-hearted soul. of the solitary air. Freedom is a vacancy, a room without a name, extinguishing the residue of a shared burning flame. I held you with a pressure that was destined to bruise, counting the seconds of everything I'd lose. You were sand in the palm, escaping the fist, the only honest version of us that could exist. Occupying our own voice, occupying our own, yeah. We saw the conclusion in the first cup of foam, a lukewarm omen in a temporary home. The coffee went cold and the blueprints went gray, long before the sun had invited the day. I'm not a safe harbor, I'm a high-speed delay, washing the colors of the record away. The life I've been building doesn't handle the weight of a passenger standing at the perimeter gate. I always knew the math, I always knew the cost, mapping the terrain of everything I've lost. No compartment until does it ever get, no scratching the paper with a mendicant pen. Reconciliation is a lie told to ghosts to muffle the hunger of the uninvited hosts. I know what I'm worth, and it isn't enough to bridge the distance when the weather gets rough. I'm better off hollow, I'm better off still, in the center of a singular, solitary will. No remorse in the static, no guilt in the hall, just the slow motion sliding of the shadows down the wall. Freedom is a vacancy, a room without a name, extinguishing the residue of a shared burning flame. I held you with a pressure that was destined to bruise, counting the seconds of everything I'd lose. You were sand in the palm, escaping the fist, the only honest version of us that could exist. Occupying our own voice. Wear the stigmata like a primary skin, inked in the nursery before the pulse takes begin. Solitude isn't a wall or a seasonal chill. It's the shared heavy oxygen of a stagnant day will. Suffering isn't a glitch or a stone in the shoe. It's the thick road substance we're all moving through. I looked at the horizon and saw the retreat, the slow motion logic of a pre-planned defeat. I pulled you to my marrow, I anchored your ghost, a desperate kidnapper of a vanishing host. I gripped the impermanence to make it stay still, muffling the gears of the clock with my will. The pain is a promissory note signed in the hall on the very first second we answered the call. Love was a heist, a grab for the wheel, a feverish effort to make the now real. No need for redemption, no use for the good, when the ending was always perfectly understood. We're just paying back the interest on the breath, a biological debt to a voluntary Possession is a symptom of the fear of the dark, a frantic attempt to bottle the spark. I didn't hold you for the warmth or the grace, but to fill up the cracks in a windowless space. We were a laboratory of the never enough, waiting for the current to get jagged and rough. Morality is a garment that the comfortable wear, while we're just the predators of a borrowed out air. Nothing is new under this lead-colored sun, except for the tally of the things we've undone. Everything mine is the dust in the tray, what the hurricane left when it carried us away. The residual identity, the sediment soul, the inventory of the silence that took total control. We converged on the vacuum, we raced for the still, the final fulfillment of a hollowed out will. The pain is a promissory note signed in the hall on the very first second we answered the call. Love was a heist, a grab for the wheel, a feverish effort to make the now real. No need for redemption, no use for the good, when the ending was always perfectly understood. We're just paying back the interest on the breath, a biological debt to a voluntary kidnapping the destiny. Sequestro de Fado. I am the only thing that's left behind, the residue of a deteriorating mind.
apartment is exhaling a scent of petrified time, of stagnant dust and the salt of a bitter lime. Decisions are drying like ink on the floor, heavy and final behind the brass bolt of the door. There's a saturation of gray on the drywall and stone, the only true garment that the spirit has grown. Every inhalation is a mechanical chore, dragging the oxygen across the cold floor. Beyond the thin plaster, the neighbors are still vibrating to the rhythm of a feverish will. We share the same pulse, a secondary beat, a high-velocity pain in the midsummer heat. It's a collective shiver, a synchronized throb, counting the seconds of the life that they rob. It's a bloodless incision, a wide-open gap, the silence of the closing of a long-term trap. The wound is a vacuum where the us used to be, leaching the color from the shared biography. Not a drop on the carpet, not a stain on the bed, just the physical volume of the things never said. The ending is home. I listen to the cadence of your feet on the stairs, the final punctuation of our unshared prayers. It was the last jagged chord of a song we knew well, the acoustic collapse of our functional hell. The melody was tired, the rhythm was frayed, paying the interest on every promise delayed. Now I'm the only one left in the radius of the gray, watching the features of the room rot away. The finish wasn't a stranger or a ghost in the hall, it was hidden in the corners, waiting to call. It grew in the shadows, it fed on the day. I am a statue in the hallway, carved from the thickest dark, counting the seconds of your breathing, waiting for the spark. I know the geometry of the ceiling, I know the weight of the air. I've been studying the blueprint of the girl who isn't there. You're planning the meridian, you're tracing out the flight, while I stand guard over a kingdom that surrendered to the night. I called it protection, I dressed it up in starch white gauze, but I was just the steady grinding of the prehistoric jaws. Isolation was the garment, possession was the thread, stitching up the curtains of the things I never said. I was guarding a property I knew was already revoked, fanning out the embers of a fire that only smoked. It's the choreography of disaster, a dance we knew by heart, written in the marrow long before we fell apart. We're just two thieves of souls, bordering in the shade, paying off the interest on every promise that we frayed. The suspense isn't the exit, it isn't the when or how. It's the heavy gauge finality of the silence in the now. I tightened the perimeter, I narrowed down the room, building a cathedral in the center of the gloom. I watched you through the drywall, I sensed the coming shift, the slow motion widening of the ontological rift. There will be no apologies when the January sun arrives, no footnotes in the ledger of our calculated lives. I fulfilled my portion, I played the keeper's role, waiting for the gravity to take back what I stole. Then the floorboard sang, the drying wouldn't snap, the final mechanical trigger of the self-inflicted trap. I didn't move a muscle, I didn't reach out for your hand, I just accepted the borders of this non-existent land. You moved across the shadows like a vapor through a screen, the only living movement in a dead-end routine machine. The latch is a period, the bolt is the end. I've got no more territory left to defend. It's the choreography of disaster, a dance we knew by heart, written in the marrow long before we fell apart. We're just two thieves of soul, confession is complete. Just the sound of my own pulse in the hallway heat. I knew it ended here. The breathing is gone. I knew it ended here. The vacancy is won. Property revoked.